What's up YouTube? How is everyone doing today? I hope everyone's having a great day. Well guys, today is the launch of the Patreon. Well, this ain't the Patreon, but the Patreon is active and it's a go. All the information for Patreon is going to be on the description down below. So for you guys that want to learn about the business side from my experience, the numbers that we're getting, the numbers we got in 2018, 2019, 2020, and to date, I'm going to talk all about that. And I made it really simple for you guys. One tier, that's it. And the money that you spend monthly to be a part of this Patreon, you're always going to get it back in some form of a snake, merch, or donation to USR. It's up to you guys how you guys want to use it. But yeah, man, I think it's going to be super awesome. I'm very excited to do this, and I can't wait to talk to you guys and get into depth about the business side from my experience with you guys. I'm really excited about it. But guys, as you guys can see on the thumbnail, we sold our most expensive snakes on Morph Market to date. Not the biggest package, but the most expensive snake that I had on Morph Market. And it's to a good friend of mine. And the cool thing about it too, man, he's actually okay with talking about it. And we're gonna get his side of, the business side and, why he invested so much into this project. And let me tell you, it's a pretty penny. So I'm gonna introduce him here in a little bit, but I wanted to go over a clutch. You guys remember the clutch that I had just done recently on my last vlog? We were cutting the snakes, and it was my last clutch, the pastel cypress female that was bred to the spot nose bread stripe yellow belly clown. What was so weird, all of them came out really fat and chunky. The weirdest thing, I've had one before come out like that, but these things came out so freaking plump. I'm gonna go through them really quick, but man, we had definitely some big hitters on that. So once we get that going, then I'm gonna bring my friend in here. We're gonna talk about, the snakes he purchased, why he purchased them, and get his, side on the whole business aspect of ball python breeding, man. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so here they are, and let me show you what I'm talking about. Like, let me get that one. They look like little slugs. Let me get this darker one, because this one you'll be able to tell a lot more. But as you guys can see, I mean, they've obviously, like slimmed down a lot, but this right here is very abnormal for me. I've never really hatched the snake. The only one that came out normal was literally this normal. But, she doesn't have that, she has a thin body, doesn't have like that overextended belly from the yolks, but everyone else besides this one came out just like that. And they look like little slugs, man. At first I was a little worried because we hit this one right here, which is, total powerhouse. Let me put it over here so you guys can see what this is. And I'll do an update on them once they're a lot better. But look how big their bellies are. So crazy, right? Comment down below, guys, if you guys have experienced something like this. I talked to my good friend Justin Kabelka, and he was telling me, he has experienced this before, and after they shed out, the belly should go down. But look how crazy this is, man. Never seen this before. And all of them came out like that. Every single one. They look like little slugs. Literally, I mean, but yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. I wanted to share that with you guys. Yeah, let's get a nice look to, but man, we hit some crazy powerhouses. This one right here is a spot nose, cypress, yellow belly, 100% het clown. This one has all the genes besides pastel, which is good. This right here turned out to be a spot nose, cypress, red stripe, yellow belly, 100% het clown. And again, I'll do an update once they shed out and then they thin out a little bit. And yeah, we had some crazy stuff, man. But yeah, this is it. Let's get my buddy over here and let's talk a little bit about what snakes he purchased that are a high dollar snake. All right, guys, so we are back, man. So I know you guys are probably thinking, man, who the hell, bought, AEP's most expensive snake on Morph Market? Well, it's none other than the big homie, Antoine over here at High Desert Pythons.
What's up, guys?
So guys, before we start getting into this, make sure you guys go follow him on his Instagram, on his YouTube. All the information can be on the description down below. So so real quick, man, you said it was okay to talk about all this. First of all, before we get to the prices and crazy like that, you've been doing ball pythons for how long?
Got my first one in 05, so 16 years.
Yeah.
And then selling and breeding professionally since 2012.
Since 2005 and then 2012. Being now that we're in 2021, how do you see the difference as far as the market?
Better than ever.
Right?
Yeah, like
but let me ask you this, because you remember back in the day, because I wasn't a part of it, when these bananas were going for like $50,000, pinstripes $35,000. Even though the numbers are not that high on snakes, I think it's more commercialized now, and now there's more selling of $5,000 to $10,000 snakes, but in big groups of packages, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there's more potential now because there's so many more genes right now. But back then it was just so limited what you can do, where everybody piled on that project. And the only thing they would do, their strategy back then was just to take this project, breed the heck out of it, not make anything new, just kind of sell it in mass quantities.
Yeah.
And then eventually that that's a failing model. But now people with recessives and other expensive codoms and things like that, they're taking those animals, bring them to other recessives and bring them to multiple codoms. And just the business model right now is just a lot different, and it's way more profitable now.
100%, man. And I like I was talking to him earlier, I think recessives, all the double heads, the triple heads, the quads, those are going to be like the new aged codoms, you know, like saying like, oh, we have ODYB Inchy Gene X, you know, but it's a lot harder playing with recessives than it is with codoms, you know, because I mean the odds could really demolish you, man.
I told everybody, like, I'll retire when I make a 6-gene recessive. That's gonna be my affinity gauntlet.
Dude, see, my ability gauntlet is going to be a 4. Just hitting 4, I'll be super happy.
Well, if I say 6, that means that should give me another 10, 15 years. So, and then by then I'll be retired from everything and just doing snakes. So
yeah, but I'm telling you guys, that's the way to go, man. The double hits, the triple hits, just all the recessives is the way to go. Now, you're pretty, you know, invested in these ball pythons now. I mean, I've talked to you before. Have you said you've invested more money coming in just, you know, from 2019, 2020 than ever before?
Yeah, the last 2 years are probably the most I've spent since I've been in the ball python. So, you know, just because I'm at the point where I want to take it to the next level. In order to do that, stand out from everybody else, you have to invest, you know. So you got to be smart about your projects, especially keeping your females back and having that discipline not to call you and say, hey, look what I produce, and then you buy it from me and I don't have it.
Yeah, dude, it's so, you know, man, it's so crazy. So I was just talking to the Turtle's the cameraman again, camera woman. But I messed up again, dude. I do these things all the time. I never have enough males, and I got rid of a lot of females that I shouldn't have got rid of. But then again, I'm not gonna beat myself too, because I didn't have enough males anyway. So I kind of, you know, like I have less snakes than I did 2019 and then 2020. But yeah, it's a crazy learning experience that I'm not really learning because I keep on messing up every year, dude. But real quick, I didn't tell no one what snakes you got. I'm pretty sure people that follow, you know, my morph market and stuff, they've already seen the snakes on there. Are you okay with talking, you know, what snakes you got?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, so these snakes right here, I myself am the only one that has them, besides Justin Kabelka. Justin Kabelka, actually, you know, I sold him 2 of these snakes, you know, prior to, you know, knowing that Antoine was gonna get it, and he just purchased the 1.1 that I had up on Morph Market. I'm gonna bring him out right now and just show you what a $10,000 snake looks like, because that's what he paid. And look, I know a lot of people don't like hearing about the money, but to me, I've always thought it's been such a good thing to talk about these things, because if I would have known this before, I would have been way more motivated before. Instead of people just saying, oh, here, take my money, then, you know, hearing other people that they're not making no money. I'm like, so why are you taking my money if you're not making no money?
Right.
But then it's a total lie, which I'm going to get into the Patreon thing, you know, here shortly. You know, he was actually one that, you know, was actually really happy and actually, you know, kind of like, you know, pumped me up to making it too, man. So big shout out to, you know, High Desert over here.
Yeah, well, because a lot of people, you know,
I'm going to get a lot of hate on it, though, you know it. Well, no, I'm not. Because it's going to be people that are actually going to be, you know, paying for it. So, haters.
And the people that's afraid to talk about the money aspect of it are the ones who aren't making money in it. Let's just be honest with you. A lot of people will just, oh, the market's dead, or don't talk about this, talk about the love of the animals, and you can spend all the money you want, but the moment you make a profit, you're wrong. Are you crazy? Like, these aren't boats and motorcycles, you know? I'm not throwing money into some water and just having some fun with it, you know? So if I'm going to spend 6 figures on animals, I want to get some kind of return back too. And that's with any business.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Dude, like, I mean, yeah, it's so crazy to me. But then again, when they say, I've said this before, well, there's no money into it. But man, dude, it's like a multi-million-dollar business. Why are these reptile shows there? Why are these cage companies there? Why are these rodent breeders there? Why? I mean, it's so weird. But yeah, we're going to get to that some other time. Let's bring out these snakes. You guys are going to trip out on the colors of these things. These things are amazing looking. All right, guys, so you guys are ready to see what a $10,000 snake looks like. And remember, I'm the only one that has them. I was the first one to make them. Jessica Belka has them, and now he's in the project. But check this out. So I know you guys are probably thinking like, oh, are you guys making a joke? It's some kind of April Fool's Day. You guys doing some clickbait? No, we are not. These are just not ordinary snakes right here. These are the only double het sunset puzzles, you know, that there is out there, besides the ones that are here that are the same age, even the ones that Justin has. But yeah, Antoine over here, you know, invested in the double het puzzle sunset, which, you know, I want to hear, you know, your thoughts on it, because you just called me out of nowhere. I was going to Vegas, you know, and you called me and I was like, okay, let me hear you out, and then boom.
Well, other than Monsoon, these are the only recessive projects I'm not in, you know, so, and I think like the 3 high tiers, Sunset, Puzzle, and Monsoon, and I figured, well, since you're like an hour and a half away, I can call them and pick them up and actually see them in person before I buy them and stuff like that too. But I have pretty much everything else.
Watch you back out. He's like, all right, I saw the one on the
so if I get visuals out of these, if I get a male, I have albino stuff, desert ghost stuff, pod stuff.
He wants skip meals.
Pod stuff, cloud stuff, everything like that too. So just the potential of producing the double visual out of these just will, bring my project to the next level. So
and the crazy part too is that you're going to be shooting for these the same time we're going to be shooting for these.
Exactly.
So it's pretty cool, man. So let me ask you this too. And just so you guys know, we didn't even talk about this before, what I'm going to ask him. Now, the investment part of, you spending, because it's a pretty penny.
It is.
Is this money all from snake sales?
Yeah, all from snake sales. Yep, 100% profit from snake sales from last year stuff, the year before, this year stuff like that. Just putting money aside, and I have a certain percentage that I use for my sales to buy more snakes. And I didn't have anything else left to get until I saw these, and maybe one other project that we talked about too, like the asphalt clown.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, let's do it, man. And scared money don't make money, man.
Dude, and I've been saying, people always give me scared. Oh, he's only where he's at. Dude, this thing's freaking feisty. You know where he's at because of the money and stuff like that. But dude, you think it's easy just to grab some money and invest 6 figures into something? Dude, that is not. I mean, you could even ask Tina. When we went all in, she was a little worried, and then we couldn't even really keep up on sales anymore. Which I'm gonna get into total depth with that, on the Patreon stuff. You guys are gonna love it, man. But yeah, it's like, we have a percentage of snake sales. Right now we're at 30% of what we make yearly goes back into snakes, because there's no way you can make all of your own stuff, because there's, I can't make everything that I want, I have to buy from other people. So yeah, we're at 30% right now that we're reinvesting every year to new projects or stuff that, I wasn't able to make.
Just insane. Yeah, then if I produce a female, I can essentially sell it for whatever I want to, because right away, just to make sure I make my money back from the project, a lot of stuff I invested in, the goal is I'm going to sell the female if I hit the double recessive on that.
Christ.
But if I get the male, I'm going to keep him and then use him for like every other project under the sun. Look at this guy right here.
Dude, he's freaking pissed. But yeah, so for example, when the first clown pieds came out, I mean, they were going for $15,000 easily, for $20,000, and it's right now hitting the first, double visual on any recessive. Dude, you're talking about big money, man. So realistically, a $10,000 investment could literally turn into a $50,000 to $60,000 investment. And that's not even counting your holdbacks, because, whatever you make yearly, all of our stuff that we hold back, we don't even add that to it. But you're talking about like, just alone on some holdbacks, I mean, we're close to almost 6 figures. I haven't even added to my sales or anything like that, which is pretty crazy. But dude, again, Antoine, I'm so glad you came over here, man, and you were able to, being okay with talking about this, especially you being in this for such a long time, man. And obviously, we're gonna get into like the crazy Patreon stuff. But if you were to give anyone advice from your, from your experience of doing this, what would you give them, man?
Just don't be afraid to take risks. Like, if you got a project you're invested in, obviously, first and foremost, get what you like. Don't follow any trends. If it's something you're not going to be happy with, pulling the drawer open and seeing it every time. So there's a lot of valuable projects out there that, if I made it, cool. I open it up. I know I produced it. It has some power behind it. But if it's an ugly snake, I can't buy an ugly snake. I can't pull a drawer open and spend 40 grand on ammo and go, eesh. That's just my thing. So you have to enjoy it, and enjoying what you do and liking your project, so motivate you to keep motivating you to do better. So that's my biggest thing. Not just because somebody produced some cool stuff and it's a money flip right now. Like, you'll do better when you enjoy it.
You're so right about that, because I did that before and it didn't work out. I was like, so I had to go a different route. But man, as always, guys, seriously, man, make sure you guys go check them out. As always, like I always say, appreciate all of the support. Until next time, peace.